Well, what did we see tonight? That is the ultimate question. A lot of people were stating this was the greatest WrestleMania they could have had in a long time, or ever best show that they could have had in a long time. And we should not have been surprised. WWE dropped the ball on many, many things tonight. First, of course, we knew pre-show was with the Cruiserweight Championship being there where it should have been on the main card, but that's neither here nor there. And again, those two did show why they should have been on the main show. But let's talk about the fuck-ups tonight. First fuck-up of the night. We get to the first match of the night, which was a triple threat match between Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and The Miz. And we didn't have the Demon? Are you serious? The Demon is one of the biggest spectacles they have for a guy like Finn Balor, and you keep him out of WrestleMania. We just had normal Land Vanilla Midget, as everyone calls him, Finn Balor, for this match. Why? Like, seriously, why? That made absolutely no sense. Fuck up number 2. Asuka lost her streak tonight. I don't understand it. I'll get to more of it later, but Asuka lost her streak tonight. Tell me how that's a good idea. Fuck up number 3. Undertaker John Cena was a 2-minute and 46-minute match. 2-minute and 46-second match. All that build for 3 months for a 2-minute and 46-second beat down. Fuck up number 4. The tag team championships were won by Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old child. Really? Fucking really? Oh, well, the tag team championships on Raw are a fucking joke as it is, so really? Oh yeah, fuck up number 5, I totally forgot. Rusev takes the pin in the United States Championship match instead of actually being the winner. I hope that guy quits, just walks out and says, I'm done. You threw me in there just to take the pin. Fuck this job, I'm out of here. I hope he does that because that guy deserves better than he got. This should have been the greatest WrestleMania of all time. They had Charlotte vs. Asuka, title versus streak, that triple threat match, which was one of the best matches out there. Rousey, Triple H, and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie. Oh, we'll get to that later. That was actually a good match. We had Styles versus Nakamura. Oh yeah, fuck up number 6, turning Shinsuke Nakamura heel of all fucking people. Are you kidding me? That's 6 right there. That's 6 fuck-ups right there at WWE that just sacrificed, they sabotaged this entire pay-per-view. Of course, we all had high hopes that this was good, I don't want to say completely high hopes because this is WWE, but they had so many high hopes by a lot of people for this show, calling it the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And what did WWE do? They just pulled the shovel in and fucking threw it down. They just threw it into a hole and buried most of this card. And again, NXT TakeOver was WrestleMania this year, plain and simple. Yes, there was some good matches with the triple threat match, which was a great start for the show, and Rousey and Triple H versus Stephanie, and Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie. That match was way better than it should have been, in my opinion. But this show, and of course, Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss showed why they should have been on the pre-show, because that match was just fucking snooze-inducing NyQuil, plain and simple. I seriously literally watched something on YouTube or whatever else while that match was going on. I had no desire to see that match whatsoever, and it proved that it was meaningless in the first place. Now, on the pre-show, we had the 2 Battle Royals and the Cruiserweight Championship. The first Battle Royal they did was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It was the only match in the first hour, won by Woken Matt Hardy with the assist of Bray Wyatt. Matt Hardy, it came down to Matt Hardy and the past two winners of Mojo Rally and Baron Corbin. Those two picked Matt Hardy up, looked to throw him out. Bray Wyatt's little happens, and the next thing you know, Bray Wyatt's in the ring with a new looking apron, something different. He attacks Mojo Rawley, looks to do the Sister Abigail, tosses him back to Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy throws him out. And then, of course, Matt Hardy eventually eliminates Baron Corbin, and Matt Hardy tells Bray Wyatt, thank you, they hug, and then Bray Wyatt gets on his knees and does his pose while Matt Hardy's behind him doing delete, delete, delete. So it looks like we have a new tag team for the tag team division, which is fucking great. Of course, fun fact here, if they become tag team champions, this would be the second tag team championship reign that Matt Hardy would have that does not involve Jeff Hardy, where Jeff Hardy has never won a tag team title without his brother Matt. Just a little fun fact for everybody right there. So, that was a nice little thing. We have a new alliance with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, which a lot of people, I believe Solid Monster, I heard it from Solid Monster first. He actually probably predicted that this was going to be the outcome. Not at Mania, but eventually that the whole Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy feud was going to lead to these two becoming tag team partners. And this could revitalize Bray Wyatt's career. It just depends on how they book these two. And they could be a formidable foe for the tag team division after they do whatever the hell they're going to do with this Braun Strowman and 10-year-old kid. We'll get to that later. They got to the second hour, and the very first thing we did was the Cruiserweight Championship between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. This was a damn good match. These guys, I do wish they would have got a little bit more time, and on the main show instead of that fucking match between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, which was just a fucking boring-ass match. But this was not boring, and this again showed why they should have been on the main show. Especially since we had a squash match for The Undertaker, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to shit on that, and I am not, because I already told you in my preview predictions. If you haven't checked that out, go check those out. I did not care. Let's see. Yeah, the Nia Jax match against Alexa Bliss was 10 minutes and 15 seconds. This match here for the Cruiserweight Championship was 12 minutes and 30 seconds, so they could have threw this match, they could have switched the matches, and it wouldn't have been that much of a notice, just cut time off of something else. Or it wouldn't have mattered. Best moves of the night for this match was a Spanish fly by Cedric Alexander. Ali counters with the one off and he gets a Spanish fly. Then we go a little bit longer into the match. Alexander is on the top rope. Mustafa Ali up there too, and he hits a Spanish fly off the top rope. Beautiful looking spot, and believe it or not, that's not the last two Spanish flies you would see this night. We'll get to that more later. Reverse Rana. Ali, then a tornado DDT. Ali goes for the 045 for only a 2. Alexander gets up, gets his foot on the bottom rope. Second 045, which is how they pronounce it, 045. Missed by Alexander as Alexander moves out of the way. Match ends when Alexander just hits a couple spinning elbows to Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali tries to get up again. He's down. He's like struggling to get up. Alexander's like, enough of this. It's over. Back elbow again, picks him up, lumbar check, 1, 2, 3, and Cedric Alexander is your new Cruiserweight champion. And unlike SummerSlam, when we had that debacle with the crowd not coming in fast enough, this crowd was pretty much packed, so a lot of people got to see this match. And as this match kept going, they got more into the match. This is why I wish it was actually to open the show, which would have made this feel a lot more important than it did. Right after the pin, like as soon as that referee because Cedric Alexander's down. Mustafa Ali's down. Cedric Alexander's got his laying on his side on Ali with his leg up. As soon as that referee hit and counted 3, Cedric Alexander flips over and does what Shawn Michaels did when he beat Ric Flair to retire Ric Flair. Just cups his head and has some words with Mustafa Ali. Those two put on one hell of a match. Women's Battle Royal then. We had Dakota Kai, Peyton Royce, Kairi Sane, Tanaya Conti, and the Vita Devi, whatever the hell her name is, the woman who was trained by the Great Khali. Yeah, so she's going to have herself a nice little career. Bianca Belair as well. There was a time, at the beginning of this match, it was Raw, SmackDown, and NXT pretty much. And the NXT women just cleaned house, knocked everybody else, and just all these women stand up, was standing tall, chanting NXT, NXT, which was a nice little move. Naomi was the winner of this match. How it came down to, we thought, and I swear Naomi got eliminated, but they wanted to, miss that one, whatever, anyway. It came down to, and we thought it was just down to Bayley and Sasha Banks, which, as I figured it should have been. And Sasha Banks puts her hand up to, get one of those nice little hand gestures from like one of those nice little hand gestures, like hand clasps by Bayley. Bayley does, but then she grabs her other hand, puts it behind Sasha Banks, and throws her out of the ring. Bayley thought she's won. Then Naomi just magically appears, which, by the way, that means after the NXT bit where all the other women ended up on the outside under the ropes, Naomi didn't come back into the ring till after everybody but Bayley was emptied. So, that's just a shitty way to have Naomi win this match, is that she didn't participate in 95% of this match. Hits the rear view, throws Bayley out in your first ever women's battle royal, or as everyone calls it, the uterus battle royal, was Naomi. So, who cares? On to the main card triple threat match, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz. Miz actually sends The Miz Taraj away, which Corey Graves is like, oh, he's a new man, he doesn't need The Miz Taraj for this, he's going to do it on his own. Good for The Miz. John Cena at this time, even in the pre-show, was sitting front row. He was sitting, where they can throw the... Like when you throw somebody out into the crowd and you want to go out and fight in the crowd, he was sitting in the front row in that area. So between the Battle Royal, the Cruiserweight Championship, the Women's Battle Royal, and the Intercontinental title, and the Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title, which was the next match, at least 4 or 5 times, maybe 6, 7 times, they kept panning to John Cena. Let's see what John Cena's reaction is. Let's watch from the perspective of John Cena, taking away from all the matches except for... pretty much taken away from all the matches because they got to show John Cena. No demons, so that's fuck up number 1 on the main card. Double blockbuster by Rollins, which was a great move. Suicide dives to both Balor and The Miz by Rollins. Sling blade by Balor. Super kick to Balor by Rollins, who eats a snap DDT by The Miz, who gets a 2 count. Miz was the MVP of this match, first and foremost, if we were going to talk about MVPs for the majority of this, because this guy worked his ass off to try and keep his title. Miz gets the figure 4 on Balor, frog splash by Rollins onto The Miz. Beautiful looking frog splash. I don't know how he gets so much height, but Eddie Guerrero is smiling wherever he's at, because this guy's had the Eddie Guerrero-esque type of frog splash. Everyone's like, oh, it's more like the 5-star. No, there is a difference between a Eddie Guerrero frog splash and a 5-star frog splash. No doubt about it. He gets a 2 count for that. They tease the barricade bomb again, which they're going to, as long as Finn Balor and Seth Rollins wrestle each other in matches, expect to see a tease of the barricade buckle bomb from Seth Rollins to Finn Balor. It's just something that they wrote into each one of their contracts when they wrestle, because they just have to do that. But he gets sling blade instead. He ends up over by where Miz is and gets a drop kick to Rollins, sending him and Miz into the barricade. Enziguri, then an overhead kick. 1916, as they call it, hit by Balor for only a 2 count. Buckle bomb to the Miz, then a superplex into the Falcon Arrow, attempt into the Falcon Arrow, but Balor rolls him up again, but only gets a 2 count. Miz actually hits the skull crushing finale for only a 2 count. Miz does get hit by, Finn Balor goes for the coup de grace, but the Miz stops that. 1960 off the top rope, stopped by Rollins. Miz hits a finale off the top rope. He goes for the pin, but Balor with a coup de grace onto the back of the Miz, who was pinning Seth Rollins at the time. And I'm like, just end it right there. Just go and pin the Miz because he's going to be out of it, or Seth Rollins, whichever. No, that didn't happen. Sling blade drop kick by Balor, coup de grace to the Miz, but he gets hit with a blackout to Balor, which is the curb stomp. He starts tuning up the band, stomping instead of doing the Shawn Michaels stomp. He's just sitting there in the corner and stomping his leg while the Miz gets up. Another blackout, and Seth Rollins is your new Intercontinental Champion and adds his name to the great annals of Grand Slam Champion. I picked Balor to win this in my predictions, but I'll take the Seth Rollins as long as it's taken off of the Miz. And now Seth Rollins will have this title going into the April 27th Greatest Royal Rumble, where we will see him, these other two, Finn Balor and The Miz, and Samoa Joe in a ladder match for this title in Saudi Arabia. So will Seth Rollins be a 3-week champion? We'll have to wait and see. Well, about a 2-week champion. Charlotte versus Asuka for the SmackDown title, Streak versus title. They lock up for this one. Figure 4 reversed into a roll up for 2. Then it needs to Charlotte for a 2 count. Double stomp to Charlotte's back. Hip attack blocked by Asuka rolls her up for a 2 count. Charlotte Flair takes control. Chops by Charlotte to take control. Charlotte rolls up over the ropes that leads to a hip attack because, Charlotte has to add something else her dad would used to do. If you threw Ric Flair into the corner, actually, that was Shawn Michaels, wasn't it? I think Ric Flair did it too. They would roll up. They would do a cartwheel, like a roll up over the top, over the ropes. So yeah, let's just add that to her arsenal. She goes for another hip attack, but Asuka. Well, it leads to a hip attack by Asuka, and Asuka wants Charlotte to get back in the ring. She actually knocks her out of the ring, and Charlotte's shoulder becomes compromised after this hip attack because her shoulder goes into the barricade, and this becomes a target for Asuka for her Asuka lock, of course. Asuka with the standing Asuka lock, but Charlotte runs and does a sit down to get out of the submission. Asuka on the apron gets pulled back into the ring. Charlotte just drops her shin on Asuka's neck twice. Moonsault from the top rope gets counted into the triangle choke. That was just a thing of beauty. And that, I commend both of these women because that is something that you have to have impeccable timing. If you don't time it right, you're going to either hurt yourself or hurt, like either Charlotte was going to get hurt or Asuka's knee, would mess her knee up or something just from the way they would have to land it. You have to time that right. And you have to have trust in the person both below you or Asuka has to trust Charlotte and Charlotte has to trust Asuka immensely in this spot for sure. Charlotte powers out and puts in a Boston Crab to Asuka. Asuka flips out of this and rolls Charlotte for a 2 count. Charlotte flips that for another 2. Asuka back to the injured arm of Charlotte. Asuka starts stomping on the face of Charlotte until Charlotte gets into the ropes. Asuka goes for the hip attack again, but Charlotte moves and kicks Asuka down. Suplex, and Asuka actually hits a suplex onto the from the apron to the outside. Really looked brutal right there. Both women beat the 10 count, barely. Asuka slaps to Charlotte, then she goes up top and nails a missile dropkick from the top rope. Asuka on the top rope gets slapped by Charlotte, who comes up and hits a nasty looking Spanish fly. Charlotte looked like she did her part right, but it looked like Asuka's timing was just a tiny bit off because they didn't both move at the same time. Asuka looked like she didn't get herself actually moved exactly right. They did hit it, but it looked like it was just a little bit off on Asuka's part. Natural selection counted into a submission. Charlotte gets out and goes for the figure 8, but Asuka blocks it. Asuka goes for the Asuka lock, but Charlotte rolls through for a 2 count. Spear by Charlotte for the 2. By the way, of the 2 people who hits the spear in WWE right now, I take Charlotte over Roman any day. Match ends when Charlotte puts in the figure 8, which she does with only one arm, and Asuka taps out. The streak is over. Are you fucking kidding me? Winner, Charlotte Flair. Post-match, Asuka grabs a mic, says Charlotte was ready for Asuka, and they hug it out as she says congratulations. Can someone tell me who the fuck booked this outcome? Not only did Charlotte beat Asuka, she made her tap out. This woman that you had touted for 914 days as undefeated, nobody's been able to make her tap and pin. And the way she loses her streak is she taps out. Are you fucking kidding me? What does this do for Charlotte? Seriously, what does this outcome do for Charlotte? Nothing. What does this do for Asuka? Well, let's see. There goes WrestleMania 35, Asuka versus Rousey for the Women's Championship on SmackDown. Oh, by the way, anybody who thinks, Asuka will just go to SmackDown, unless they move Asuka in a superstar shakeup, she's just going to go back to Monday Night Raw and be just like everybody else. WWE just doesn't Vince McMahon hates having something special in his hands unless he created it, and of course he didn't create Asuka. Why do you think he pushes Roman Reigns to the fucking moon? And by the way, we're going to get to that later, and that was a shock tonight. But he pushes Roman Reigns to the moon because he was the one, his men created Roman, not Asuka. He wants Roman to be that special person in his company, not Asuka. So Asuka just is everybody else now. She's just like everybody else. There's nothing special about Asuka anymore. Ronda Rousey is the only one with mystique now, and when she loses and people start turning on her, unless you give somebody for her to become a mouthpiece, her in-ring work tonight was amazing, and it's going to be something that her strength. Her weakness right now is her mic skills, but we'll get to that later. This made no sense. I haven't booked it, and other people who have fantasy booked it. Had Asuka won tonight, she keeps the women's title for SmackDown all year long. Ronda Rousey wins all year long. You have Ronda Rousey win the Women's Royal Rumble or the Women's Elimination Chamber, which I would go with the Elimination Chamber because it just fits Ronda Rousey a lot better than the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. Then you have them go to WrestleMania, and you have Asuka versus Ronda Rousey in the main event of WrestleMania 35. Now you can't do that because it doesn't mean a damn thing. Are you fucking kidding me? And then some fucking dumbass online says Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte is a bigger money match. Are you fucking kidding me? Ronda Rousey is a legit badass. Asuka, until tonight, had that mystique of being a legit badass that nobody could fucking touch. It would have been fucking money in Vince McMahon's pocket that's just going to go away. Hey, Vince, you see all that money that people want to pay for WrestleMania 35 to see Asuka versus Ronda Rousey? Oh, they're spending it on other things. They're not coming to WrestleMania because you fucking blew that match up. You don't give a fuck about the fans, and that was proof number one right there, because that's fuck up number one. That's actually fuck up number two because of no Demon for Balor, which would have made no sense for WrestleMania. But this was fuck up number two. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to do now, but Asuka is just like everybody else. This is just like when this in WWE did the same exact fucking thing that WCW did with Goldberg's streak. Except for the taser, of course. Nobody needs to see a taser. Having somebody established, because Charlotte is established, Kevin Nash in 1998 was established. Having somebody established who is been in main events before and been there a lot and knows and is like known by everybody and people like or dislike whatever, having them end a streak that they have no business ending doesn't help anybody. Asuka should have lost to somebody who had it made sense. This made no fucking sense whatsoever. Someone explain to me. I really want to know. Someone explain to me how this makes any fucking sense. Seriously, I want to know. Let me know in the comment section below how this even makes any fucking sense. I don't know. So WrestleMania starts on a high with the triple threat match, and then just takes a huge ass nosedive and stays down there for a good while. The match was pretty good. The ending was fucking retarded. I don't know who thought. While Charlotte is celebrating going up the ramp and Asuka's still in the ring, we see a referee running down, jumping over the barricade, going over to John Cena. I heard the word Undertaker come out of his mouth. He's like, oh, you're just joshing me. Oh, come on, please. Then he keeps telling to John Cena. John Cena jumps the barricade, heads to the back, and we'll see about that later. The United States Championship match, Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev versus Randy Orton. Honestly, did not give two fucks about this match, and the ending made no fucking sense. And of course, and you want to know why certain podcasters complain that Jinder Mahal matches end the fucking same. Same thing happened tonight. How did Jinder Mahal beat Randy Orton every single time, except including the Punjabi prison match? How did Jinder Mahal beat Shinsuke Nakamura every single time? Oh, the Sunil and the Singh brothers distracted or did something to distract his opponent, and he hits the Colossus. Well, we get to WrestleMania 34, and what the fuck happens? Jinder Mahal is so close to getting beat by Rusev. What happens? Sunil Singh gets on top of the fucking on the ropes. He gets hit with a Machka kick. We get a Colossus. 1, 2, 3, and Jinder Mahal is your new United States champion. This was what should have happened last year at Backlash, when he should have beat somebody or had Kevin Owens face him and somebody else in a triple threat match for the U.S. title. He should have had that title going in for a while. Now the evil heel, and he's not the only evil heel anymore. We have like a bunch of them now. We'll get to that later. What was the point? I really fucking hope we hear Rusev has been released from his WWE contract, because they just gave him the biggest fuck you, ever. Why would you even put this guy in a match? When the fucking pre-show started, all you hear is Rusev Day, Rusev Day, Rusev Day, and what happens? You just shit all over that. Vince McMahon doesn't like to win. I honestly don't like. I guess when you become a billionaire, you hate making money now. Honestly, when you become a very, very, very good, like a very wealthy person, you just hate making money, because if that's the case, Vince McMahon is good at that because he doesn't like making money. Rusev gets pinned at WrestleMania again. Has Rusev ever won at WrestleMania? He lost to John Cena. I believe he was the one who got pinned. Oh, wait, no. Actually, I think he did win. Yeah, he won with the other guys, the Lads, or whatever the fuck they call it, the League of Nations. He lost this year. I don't even know if I think he was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal last year. So Rusev gets beat and pinned after distraction from Sunil Singh. Fuck that shit. This pay-per-view went from, this feels like WrestleMania 9, where you had the Intercontinental title between Shawn Michaels and Tatanka, which I hear was a pretty good match, because I was like, I don't know, 3 years old when that match happened, and it went straight down from there with barely anything good. That's how this was starting to go. Then we had the surprise match of the night, and Ronda Rousey, for me, is the MVP of this match, because she was just a firecracker in this match. She was just a house on fire. Her and Stephanie come out with tricycles, my bad, motor tricycles, trikes, or three-wheel motorcycles, whatever the fuck you call them. Rousey had herself she had Roddy Piper's jacket on again, and this time she comes out with a little kilt skirt. With the whatever that medallion-looking thing with the strings on it that is on the front of a kilt. She had one of those on, be true to Roddy Piper, so that was a great thing. Mostly Hunter and Kurt Angle for the majority of the time. Rousey tries to get into this match, Steph bending the rules behind the ref's back. Rousey does finally get tagged in after Triple H gets taken out by Kurt Angle, and she gets her hands on Stephanie, and the crowd is going wild. Why? Because it's been, I don't know, 2014 at least, 2013 when the Authority started, that Stephanie has been slapping superstars left and right, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. The only kind of comeuppance that she's gotten was when Vicky Guerrero threw her into a puddle of mud, or whatever the fuck that shit was in that pool. That was it. Brie got beat by her. She beat Brie with the help of Nikki at SummerSlam a couple years ago. This was the greatest thing that happened to Stephanie McMahon, because we finally got to see someone other than Triple H who put her through a table and a couple other things. I think she got taken out by Triple H or Roman Reigns with a spear at WrestleMania 32, but this was just fucking great. She pretty much looked like she had the match won. 1, 2, Triple H pulls the referee out. She's yelling, "You're the biggest shooter I ever know. Ref, get back in here. I want to beat this woman's ass." And she says something about to Triple H about, "I'm gonna whip your wife's ass" or something. He pulls her out of the ring. Definitely not good for her. In the ring, Rousey gets teased off on Triple H. This was fucking great. He gets back in the ring, helps his wife get out of the ring. Rousey's back up. And of course, Triple H threw Kurt Angle into the crowd, through the announce tables, whatever. She's back up. She wants to go out with Triple H. This was fucking great. I don't even know. This was just great. She wants to go with Triple H. Referee's like, no, this is not an intergender match. You know, one of those where whatever the fuck it's called. Not a mixed tag. The other one where men can fight women, women can fight men, all that good shit. Nah, he's like, no, this is not how this goes. Triple H grabs the referee, which, by the way, was the referee who also who counted the pin for the submission when Johnny Gargano got his job back the night before, by the way. So he's working both NXT and Raw, so good for him. Good on him. Going from getting the submission win to Johnny Gargano to having this match tonight, so good for him. But he grabs him, takes him over the corner, and he's just like, I got this. Next thing you know, Ronda Rousey just starts teeing off on him with straight punches left and right. She actually gets Triple H on her shoulders and wants to go for like this twisting slam, but of course Stephanie McMahon gets back into the ring and she slaps Ronda Rousey. She's like, oh shit, I'm out of here, gets out of the ring, and then Ronda Rousey ends up eating the ring post. By the way, this whole entire thing, there was only one tag in this match, and it was when Kurt Angle tagged in Ronda Rousey. It's like, this time it's like, who's the legal man? Everyone's asking who's the fucking legal man, or the legal person, and it was Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon. Angle slam for a 2 count, I don't know how. That was the thing that was like weird, is like, how the fuck is Angle's getting an angle slam for a 2 count when he's not even legal? Pedigree by Triple H, but Ronda Rousey breaks up the pinfall. Again, they weren't legal. Stephanie McMahon puts a rear naked choke on Rousey after an armbar Rousey had on Triple H. She actually had the armbar on Triple H, and instead of having both her legs across Triple H's chest, she had one on his neck and one on his head and one on his neck, behind his neck. It was fucking great. She gets to be a naked choke on her. Rousey gets that, turns that into an armbar, and Triple H into an ankle lock by Kurt Angle. These two are just hopefully, they're going to do like what happened with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa of DIY versus the Revival, will both tap at the same time. That would have been great, but no. Triple H yanks Kurt Angle, and he runs into Ronda Rousey, or falls into Ronda Rousey. Match ends when both the McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H go for the double pedigrees, but both get reversed in the back body drops. Rousey looking for the armbar. Stephanie McMahon, this looks so nasty the way she did this. She had her on the side. She's like, Ronda Rousey's like saying something to Stephanie. I can't understand what exactly she's saying until Stephanie's like, I'm sorry. Ronda Rousey's like, too late. She yanks that fucking arm. It looked like she popped her shoulder out. Tapped by Stephanie McMahon, and Ronda Rousey wins her very first match at WrestleMania. She looked fucking amazing. MVP of the match. Plain and simple. I don't like to do MVPs unless it's a really good match, which we really didn't have any good single one-on-one matches for this show. So, we'll get to that later. SmackDown Tag Team title match, Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers. This was a short and sweet match, plain and simple. This match lasted, I don't know, 5 minutes and 50 seconds, I believe. Yeah, 5 minutes and 50 seconds. And the Bludgeon Brothers win. Woods eats a powerbomb to the LED post. Usos have Harper wounded. Everyone trying to take out the Bludgeon Brothers. Midnight Alice stomped into a black hole slam drop, pretty much. Usos super kick Harper on the turnbuckle. He then goes for the Tower of Doom spot, but Rowan says nope and wipes everybody out. Kofi sends him out. Rowan back in with a powerbomb. Now Fool Nelson's done. Then the match ends. Fool Nelson, powerbomb off of the top rope. 1, 2, 3, and the Bludgeon Brothers are your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, making Luke Harper a 2-time SmackDown Tag Team Champion, because last year or the year before that, towards the end of 2016, he was a member of the Wyatt family when Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper won the tag team titles from the American Alpha. I hope you all are happy. I hope you all love that 3-month build for this next match. I hope you all just loved what they did for the last 3 fucking months of wasted television. John Cena versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I hope it was every fucking thing, every single one of you marks out there who wanted to see this piece of shit happen. Cena comes out, he was in jeans and a New Orleans t-shirt when the referee came out. He runs to the back, gets dressed, hat, armbands, green shirt. I was hoping it would have been a New Orleans shirt, but whatever. Shorts and his wrestling shoes. He's in the mat. He's down in the ring. Another referee comes down, says pretty much is telling him he's not here. Whatever. Cena eventually is like pissed off and all. He leaves the ring. He's like, oh fuck it. I guess I was played a fool. Lights go out. Everybody's thinking Undertaker. And then you hear the strum of the guitar. It was Elias. Oh, this was perfect. This part I did enjoy. Nuclear heat for Elias. He comes out pretty much just saying, oh, were you expecting somebody else? Oh, that somebody else doesn't have half the talent I do, half the charisma I do, or anything. Just mocking the Undertaker. I wonder if that happened, come back to bite him eventually. He does mock John Cena in his song, John Cena, who went back to his seat, jumps the barricade again. He beats the hell out of Elias. Just perfect there. And he gets demolished by him. Cena's like, Cena's music plays, he gets on the top rope, does his little Cena pose, heads out of the ring, gets almost up the ramp all the way. I think it was actually at the top of the ramp. Lights go out, and it was the dead, and this was interesting. Lights go out, lights come back on, boots, hat, glove, at least the boot, not boots, glove, coat, boot, and hat in the ring. Lightning bolt onto that stuff. And I commend to the people behind who had to like rush to get that shit out there and rush to get it back. They were probably under the ring, but still, I commend those for this quickness that they have because those lights are back on like that. So whoever had to actually get that stuff in the ring and get it back out of the ring, I commend you for it because that takes some talent. Just saying. Lights come back on, nothing's there, and then it was the dead man. So, why, and this is the thing that pisses me off. You had such a great goodbye to the dead man gimmick, the dead man character at WrestleMania 33. Why, oh fucking why, after all, how personal John Cena made this, would you have the dead man come back? Not the American Badass. No, I would rather have Big Evil. This would have harkened all the way back to when John Cena made his WWE debut in 2002 and shook hands with The Undertaker after his match against Kurt Angle. He was Big Evil at the time. He wasn't the dead man. That would have made it come full circle, in my opinion. Their only feud back in 2002, I think it was 2003 actually, was when Undertaker was under the American Badass or Big Evil gimmick. It would have worked so much better for this. But nah, we get the dead man. Let's go out, guys, come back on. We get Dead Man Taker, not Badass Baker or anything else. What a lame way for this to go. And The Undertaker wastes no time. 2 minutes and, what was it? 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I hope each and every one of you guys out there who thought this was a great fucking build for that. I fucking hated the build from day one. If The Undertaker was going to give us any kind of fucking thing, it would have been fine. This was fucking pathetic. This right here ruined WrestleMania for a good portion. Points off for Asuka losing a streak. Points off for this match even being a thing. WWE could have had one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, and that ruined a lot of it. And I'm not even done yet. We're not even done yet. We still have half the show. We still have a good bit of the show, and the next match, which was the match that everybody wanted to see, was this match coming up. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And I honestly, and Shane McMahon had a big yes with the dollar sign for the yes on his back, which was pretty cool, nice little adage to his usual WrestleMania attire. But the fact that they did this, the thing they did for Daniel Bryan before he came out was they had this Terminator type thing saying, "Oh, it's an infection, it's spreading," and they showed all these clips of since Daniel Bryan started the yes chants, which, by the way, it is infectious. It's been everywhere since Daniel Bryan. It was not a thing before Daniel Bryan, really. Daniel Bryan, that chant, the yes chant, shows how loved Daniel Bryan is because it is a virus. It is infectious. It has spread beyond WrestleMania, beyond WWE. And it's the very last thing was it's official. The yes movement is back. And yes, it was. By the way, this is a real babyface, face of the company reaction, Vince. I bet you he was fuming that this man, that Daniel Bryan got the biggest pop of the night, and I'm sure he was fuming at the main event, which we'll get to later, because, oh buddy, that main event. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens attack them from behind. Shane and Bryan are sent outside. Shane gets thrown into the crowd by his sons. This was awesome heel work by Sami Zayn. He tosses Shane into the crowd by where his sons are, and he just goes over to Shane's sons and starts screaming at them. You can actually audibly hear, I think one of Shane's sons saying, "You got nothing, you have nothing," or something like that. I was like, that's just fucking beautiful. They powerbomb Daniel Bryan into the apron. So Shane McMahon comes back over and he calls medics over. I was like, does anyone really think Daniel Bryan's not going to be used in the rest of this match? This harkens back to the WrestleMania 30 main event where Daniel Bryan was taken out on a stretcher and then fought his way to come back in to win the WWE Championship. This time, he wasn't injured beforehand, and he put on a hell of a show. Owens and Zayn saying Shane made them do that. Shane calls for the bell, knocks Zayn off the apron, and tees off on Owens in the corner. To Shane for the side, but favoring his midsection. Like, if this dude has a hernia, I hope the fuck he gets some surgery tomorrow. Like, he's going to wherever he has to get surgery for that hernia and be off of TV for a while, because damn, dude, he looked like he was just in a lot of pain the entire match. Kick to Shane's midsection, then stomps to Shane's, then more stomps to it. Shane is in trouble as Owens and Zayn beat up on Shane. Owens looks over where Daniel Bryan's being helped, and he's like, "Good comeback, Daniel. Good job." Just beautiful heel work by Zayn and Owens. Shane fights back after a beating of a lifetime, but 2-on-1 is not in his favor as the Blue Thunder Bomb for only a 2 count. A Luva kick miss. Shane gets Zayn in the tree of woe. And I don't know who. I know he loves his death-defying moves, and I figured this was going to happen whether he was hurt or not. But Shane O'Mac, please fucking God, don't ever do this again if you are legitimately this fucking hurt. Because, dude, he hit a coast-to-coast on Sami Zayn, and Shane McMahon looks like he paid for it immensely. This looks like it hurt him more than anything else. This was just a bad move on Shane's. It looked brutal as fuck on his end. Shane goes for the pin and needs a senton by Owens. Frog splash to Shane for a 2 count because Bryan breaks up the count and he is back into the match. Cannonball miss. Bryan up to the apron. Zayn tags in and stops Shane from tagging Bryan in. Shane back body drops Zayn and both are down. Bryan eventually does tag into the match and he takes over immediately. Running knee to Owens on the outside. Bryan up top, drop kick to Zayn, then a hip up. He does a drop kick, and he's laying there with his hands on his head, and I guarantee you Tom Phillips is... You hear some audible, like from Tom Phillips, thinking, oh, he probably hurt himself. No, he's just getting himself up for the kip up, which was just amazing. To Owens, who tries a kip up, suplex to Owens, who tries to stop him. Drop kick in the corner to both Zayn and Owens, and a lot of people were saying when he did his drop kicks to the corner at the SmackDown when he got his ass kicked by these two, that it was cringeworthy to see him actually trying to land on his head. I noticed in this match when he's doing his drop kicks, he's actually like doing them to where he lands on the where he like hits the ropes and can grab the rope, so he actually steadies himself so his head doesn't make contact with the mat, which is a good move on him if he hasn't done that before. Hurricane Rana by Daniel Bryan off the top rope to Zayn. Haluva kick to Bryan after Owen distracts for a 2 count. Owen tags in and super kicks Shane off the apron. Pop-up powerbomb for only a 2 count. Zayn tags back in. Shane takes out Owens, and it's down to Zayn and Bryan. After a few shots to Bryan by Zayn, Bryan starts slapping the hell out of him. Now we get the real yes kicks, and Miz, these are how they're done. Match ends after that with him zeroing with Daniel Bryan was in the corner. He hits the running knee, and Daniel Bryan puts in the yes lock to Zayn, and Zayn taps out. There were a lot of people like, oh, Shane McMahon's not really hurt. He's going to turn heel. No, that would have made no sense. This was the way this match needed to end. This was the way this match needed to go. This was an absolute great match. This was, I believe, let me see here. This is actually the last good match of the night. Everything after this was shit. Plain and simple. And yes, we still had the dream match to come. Post-match, Bryan goes to celebrate with his wife at ringside, and then he goes and high-fives all of Shane's kids. So, great to see Daniel Bryan back, and I can't wait to see what happens with him after WrestleMania. West versus Nia Jax, who the fuck's mad? This match went way too fucking long. This match went 10 minutes and 15 seconds. This match lasted longer than Undertaker and John Cena and the Bludgeon Brothers winning the tag team titles combined. That is too long. This match should have been a 10-second squash. Of course, before the match, Mickie James was out there with Alexa Bliss because, you know, the woman who called you old, gave you the pens and gave you a cane and made fun of you for months, you want to be best friends with again. Whatever. She gets absolutely demolished by Nia Jax. Then Nia Jax wins with a Samoan drop off the top rope. She killed Alexa Bliss for the title. Good on her. And of course she goes over and celebrates with The Rock's mom and The Rock's daughter. So good for her. Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura WWE Championship match. The promo package, I will say, a lot of people and as well as myself complained about the build to this match. The promo package for this match built a better story than the entire build for the last 2-3 months that they had or whatever. There was pictures of WCW. There was a picture they used of AJ Styles being the NWA champion, which had only happened in TNA. A picture of him doing a phenomenal forearm to Bully Ray. So, that must be nice paying Anthem Sports for these pictures and whatnot. Nakamura got an epic entrance with Nita Strauss or something like that from Nita Strauss, I think, or whatever the fuck her name was, from Alice Cooper. They mentioned that in WrestleMania 3, Alice Cooper was there to drop a snake on, I think, Andre the Giant, and here his guitarist was playing Shinsuke Nakamura with two drummers, I believe, and a bunch of violinists who are probably off key, but her guitaring was so loud that you couldn't tell. Kevin Dunn used strike again because AJ Styles was coming to the ring, and AJ Styles' nameplate said WWE Universal Champion when he is clearly the WWE Champion. They get underway. This match was underwhelming to a lot of people because, one, the wrong person won, and two, the heel turn at the end of it. Styles' emotions getting to him early because he gets Shinsuke Nakamura in the middle, into the corner, and just starts talking trash to him. Nakamura with his head mind games where he puts his head on your chest and just goes back and forth. He gets up and Styles just slaps the taste out of his mouth. He goes for good vibrations in the corner, but that's stopped by Styles and ends up kneeing Nakamura in the face. So Styles gives him a knee to the face. Snap suplex for a 1 count for Styles. Kicks to the back of Nakamura. Styles with a chin lock on Nakamura for the rest hold. This match, the placement of this match after, I don't know, the Nia Jax, Mickie James, and the Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss match, this match got no crowd heat whatsoever. The crowd, which was centered through this match, was dead for majority of this match. And a lot of people were talking, I heard, people online being this match, they expected more. People, a lot of people who probably watched a New Japan match, which I never got to, and I haven't yet, and I don't think I will, probably were expecting to see more of that, but you gotta remember, this is a WWE match. They're not gonna get the free reign on main card to wrestle in any style that's not WWE. Whether you like it or not, this is the match we got, whether you want it to be or not. Drop kick by Styles, Nakamura rolls outside, goes for a penalty kick on the apron, but Nakamura moves out of the way and kicks Styles' leg out from underneath of him. Styles lands hard on the outside on the apron. Nakamura with the kick to Styles off the top rope, and both men are down. Nakamura says, bring on, does this, come on! And then a Steelers strikes to AJ, then a splash in the corner. He punches AJ on the top rope and knee right to the ribs of AJ, who's on the ground for a 2 count. Face first goes Styles. Nakamura goes for the reverse exploder, but Styles reverses it and drives Nakamura face first with that. I don't even know what the moves are, but there's some pretty good moves. Flying form in the corner, then one in the mat for a 2 count. Pump handle gutbuster. I was like, there's no way he's going to get this thing off because of the height difference. A pump handle. I thought he was going to go for a pump handle slam, but he pump handle gutbuster him. Fucking great move. For a 2 count from Styles. Styles class blocks Styles for the forearm, and Nakamura with the landslide. They call it Corey Graves called it a landslide. I've never heard him call it that move before, but it was a pretty good move. It's just like the Death Valley driver, but you pull him over into the package power driver. For a 2 count. Nakamura puts Styles on the top rope, a turnbuckle kick to him, then he goes up and Styles slips out. Tries to powerbomb Nakamura, who gets out of it and kick blocked by Styles, and Styles with a kick to Nakamura's knee. Nakamura's knee, of course, the inside of his knee. From here to the end of the match, Nakamura's knee would become a compromised state. Suplex, he goes for a suplex, but it couldn't be done, and he gets put in the calf crusher. Nakamura It's not Nakamura. Styles rolls Nakamura through as he tries to get to the ropes. Nakamura trying to fight out of this move. Nakamura gets out and puts Styles in a triangle with some stiff shots. He has him in the triangle and takes his free hand and just starts stiffing him a little bit. Styles goes to pick up Nakamura, but Nakamura actually grabs his leg and keeps him from going up the first time. Styles goes up again and picks up Nakamura and hits him with a package driver. Styles clash. AJ couldn't hit it. Styles goes to the Styles clash and his back gives out on him for some reason. And Nakamura with a leaping kick puts AJ back on the top rope and Styles gets hit. Goes for the kick, goes for the knees again. Styles moves out of the way. Styles hits a phenomenal forearm for only a 2 count. 450 to Nakamura, who gets the knees up and rolls Styles up for a 2 count. And then these two get up, start talking trash, headbutts to each other, which the headbutt, in my opinion, for wrestling in general, should be outlawed. They have this big deal about concussions. Just get rid of the headbutt completely. It's a move that's not necessary in this day and age. Back and forth strikes between these two. Styles hits the Pele kick, but knee to the back of the head of Styles. He hits the Pele on Nakamura, and he's just sitting there. He's just standing there like dazed. He doesn't go down. He literally no-sells it for more than just a second. He doesn't go anywhere. Hits him with a knee to the back of the head, and he gets a 2 count. Knee strikes the Styles ribs while he's down again. Reverse exploded to AJ. Kinshasa turned into a Styles class for a 3, and AJ Styles retains your WWE Championship, which I don't fucking get. Why did you, I don't understand. You had both Japanese wrestlers on this show should be walking out as new champions, and it didn't happen. I don't get it. And then, post-match, Styles picks up Nakamura, they hug, Nakamura grabs the title, gets on one knee, and hands AJ Styles the title. Now, if anybody did not see what was going to happen next, I don't know what, you have not been watching wrestling enough. Nakamura, if you go down to the knee, you hand the title. If you don't get up, if the person does not get up within 2 seconds or 3 seconds after that happens, AJ raises the title up and Shinsuke Nakamura with a low blow to AJ. Nakamura turns heel and beats the hell out of AJ, gets down on the mat, hits a knee to the face. Why U-turn of all fucking people, Shinsuke Nakamura heel. So we have another heel foreigner in the WWE because Jinder Mahal is doing that gimmick just fine is beyond me. I don't know why. That's another fuck up right there. 2 fuck ups in one match. AJ Styles winning and Nakamura turning heel. For all the people in the company, you turn Shinsuke Nakamura heel. Well, yeah, Roman Reigns is supposed to be the conquering babyface. And again, we'll get to that later. Because this has been fucking ridiculous. Speaking of fucking ridiculous, then you think that was bad? It just keeps getting worse. The Bar versus Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old kid named Nicholas. The Bar out on a Mardi Gras float because, yeah, we have time for a Mardi Gras float. They come out, they throw beads, they throw those things around, they throw beads, whatever. They come out and they're all hyped. They had some pretty sick jackets on. Those jackets did look really nice. Then Braun Strowman comes out. The funny part was Braun Strowman comes out. The float's still there. You have the people in their Mardi Gras things, and Braun Strowman comes out, does his and everybody was in these Mardi Gras suits, just run around scared as hell. And most of them have that shocked look on their face. And they just put their hands up and it looks like they're scared as fuck. That was funny. He walks down to the ring, says, you want to know who my partner is? Well, I wanted to wait till we got here to WrestleMania because it's not anybody in the back. It's one of you. He points to one side, to the hard cam. Or it's one of you to the other side. Who wants to be my partner? He walks out, he walks around, he finds a kid with some long hair, takes him to the ring, and pretty much beats the hell out of the Bar. And the winners are Nicholas and the Bar and Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman with a 10-year-old fucking kid, which this was an intriguing thing. Who is his partner going to be? Will it be Samoa Joe? Will it be Rey Mysterio. Will it be anybody on the main roster? Maybe somebody from NXT who's coming up. I don't know. Johnny Gargano. That would have been cool. No. A 10-year-old, which obviously is probably somebody whose kid, it's probably somebody's kid in the company. I mean, they're not going to just have a random fan be put into the match. I mean, come on. But he just beat the fucking bar up by himself and gave a 10-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever the fuck age he is kid a tag team title. Oh my god, like this just, like, this could have been one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. This would have been a great way to bring Samoa Joe back, who is, by the way, cleared, as stated by Samoa Joe, at the Hall of Fame. So it's like, oh, okay. Samoa Joe and the Braun Strowman versus the Bar. No, we get a fucking 10-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever fucking age kid as Braun Strowman's tag team partner. And that is how we have new tag team champions. Oh my god. I don't even know. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, who the fuck booked this match, but wow, I don't get it. I don't get it. Of course, the tag team division on Raw has been a joke since the Hardy Boys got hurt, since Jeff Hardy got hurt, and you had just thrown in together tag teams, and of course Dean Ambrose got hurt. So why not just throw a fucking joke in there? Then we have the Universal title match, which had the biggest shock of the fucking night. But, of course, the fans gave no shits about this match. Why? Boring chants. This is awful. CM Punk. I'm pretty sure the upper deck was having a wave. Fucking 6 F5s and 4 spears. 6 F5s and 4 fucking spears. And you want to know who won this match? Not who we all thought it was going to be. Brock Lesnar won and is still your Universal Champion. Oh, by the way, he caved in a portion of Roman Reigns' face. He was bleeding. Like, I haven't seen somebody bleed in a long time. 1, 2, 3 hours, and that third one cracked Roman Reigns so hard that when they panned down back at Roman Reigns, there was blood all over his arm. This dude got fucking messed up. He kicks out at 4 F5s. He gets an F5 outside on the table. He hits Brock Lesnar with 2 spears before that. He kicks out. Roman Reigns then tries to hit Roman. Like, the match came to an end where Roman Reigns tries to go for his super spear, where he runs off one set, then the other, and then spears. But instead of the spear, he eats a 6 F5, and 1, 2, 3, your winner and still the reigning, defending, Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. Now, where do we go from here for this man? Brock Lesnar had to have signed a new contract. This is the thing that scares me. Brock Lesnar signed a new contract. He had to have. There's no fucking way that he's going to win the title and not be signed to a WWE contract. Now, what the fuck are they going to do? They did all of the build, which obviously Vince McMahon realized this failed 100%. I mean, we come into WrestleMania. Roman Reigns comes out and gets booed out of the fucking building. Brock Lesnar gets cheered in the building. We have, this is boring, this is awful, CM Punk. I'm pretty sure, again, there was a wave up top because there were people in the front row looking back. So there must have been a wave, or somebody was doing something. This match just, I don't even know. So where do we go from here with Brock Lesnar and the Universal Championship? I honestly don't know. Dana White a couple days, 3 days ago said Brock Lesnar's coming back to the UFC, and today, or yesterday, he said Brock Lesnar still is actually under contract with UFC, which is not a surprise because UFC contracts are not like other sports contracts. You might have a contract to fight with that company, with the UFC, but if you're not fighting, if you don't get if you don't finish up those fights, then if you don't fight, they don't pay you. Like, for the UFC, they get paid by fights. As we've seen in WWE, people are getting paid just to show up. So he had to have signed a new contract unless it was a one-day contract And Brock Lesnar will show up tomorrow, say, fuck you, Vince, drop the Universal title, and leave. So, WrestleMania was a D for me. Plain and simple. 100% a D. Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, great match. Triple threat match at the start of the show, great match. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, great match. Everything else was subpar or below, so there is nothing else about that. Now, coming out of WrestleMania, they are at a little bit of an impasse. We have Backlash as our next pay-per-view, but I believe that's at the end of May. The end of May? Or not, let me check that out. But we do have a show, an event coming up in Saudi Arabia called The Greatest Rumble Ever. And I'm pretty sure majority, if not, most, if not all matches we saw tonight will have implications on, well, like, they're going to have 7 title matches. So besides the women's championship matches, we will see all the other titles on the line in this match. So, yeah, let me see something here. Yeah, we're probably going to see rematches from WrestleMania. This is weird. So, unless Brock Lesnar is losing the title tomorrow, which I don't know. Yeah, May 6th. That's weird. Yeah, so we're going to have a lot to think about. And what did we learn tonight? WWE doesn't give a fuck about their fans. That's all you gotta say. WWE gives zero fuck about their fans. Vince McMahon's gonna do what he wants. Here you go, here's your dream match. You want it, here you go. We're gonna fuck it, we're gonna make it, and it felt like it was a safe match. They didn't want to go balls to the walls. They weren't allowed to go balls to the walls at all. And, oh yeah, we're gonna say, fuck you fans, because we're gonna turn one of the more popular guys heel, which is unwarranted. Yet Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, who are better in a heel role, should be heel, and they're not. Now, I read somewhere that the Chaos faction that was or I think it was Chaos, or whatever faction Shinsuke Nakamura was in when he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling before the Bullet Club showed up, was actually a heel faction. So maybe he's a good heel, I don't know. But having him turn heel and keeping Bobby Roode as a babyface and keeping Roman Reigns as a babyface, not a good idea. So, I honestly seeing this backfire. I'm hoping this isn't going to become the evil heel foreigner who bashes America because I'm from Japan and I speak differently, so blah, 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 blah. Don't do that, please. Where we go here from Asuka? I don't know. There's nothing you can do with Asuka. You just ruined her mystique. You killed all the momentum you had. That big money match for a women's WrestleMania main event is gone. It's gone. It's 100% gone. Ronda Rousey versus Asuka was the only possible match for WrestleMania 35's main event. If you wanted to main event a WrestleMania with the women, is the only thing that made sense as long as Asuka was women's champion on SmackDown coming out of WrestleMania. Now, oh yeah, by the way, again, she's going back to Raw. She's still a Raw superstar. She's still on the Raw roster without being... She's on Raw. There's nothing about it. She's on the Raw brand. She did not win her match at WrestleMania, and I don't know what else to say. So what do you do? What are you doing with Asuka now? I don't know. Nia Jax, I will give her chance as the women's champion. It's not fair to... say, oh, it's just going to be a failure. She can have a chance, but please, Alexa Bliss does not need the championship anymore. She buried that championship because she didn't do a damn thing with it after she won it back from Sasha Banks. She defended it at TLC, wrestled a match against Charlotte, which was, it was okay, and then didn't do anything until the Elimination Chamber. So she doesn't need the title, and hopefully we'll see her defended on well, I don't think it needs to be defended on every pay-per-view. What they should do, in my opinion, for these dual-branded pay-per-views is not defend every title. For Backlash, SmackDown titles. For most of SmackDown titles. For the next pay-per-view, most of Raw titles. And so on and so forth. U.S. Championship, I don't care. It's on the modern day failure Raja. So, whatever. Seth Rollins, I don't know if he's going to have it more than the Greatest Royal Rumble event. I'm pretty sure we'll see a new champion coming out of that. That might be, out of all the titles that will probably, there's got to be a title change in Saudi Arabia. I can see Seth Rollins because he really doesn't need the Intercontinental title. He should be going for the Universal title. And after WrestleMania, unless Brock Lesnar just, what I'm hoping when it comes to this whole Brock Lesnar thing, and we'll get to that in a second, but he should be going for the Universal title. So I see Finn Balor or Samoa Joe winning that ladder match in Saudi Arabia. So that's the title I can see change hands. The WWE Championship, Universal title, I don't know how they're going to do this for the Universal title unless Brock Lesnar drops the title. If Brock Lesnar vacates the title tomorrow night, which Monday Night Raw has just become an interesting show to see, with this burial of John Cena, with Roman Reigns losing the title, losing his title shot, his match at WrestleMania, and Braun Strowman and Nicholas, and what the fuck they're going to do with that, and Nia Jax and all that, and what happens with Asuka, because Asuka just goes back to Raw, and she becomes just like everybody else. She can lose matches now. She doesn't have to be an unbeatable beast. She'll probably end up on a losing streak now because she lost her streak, and everybody's going to be ready for it now. Plain and simple. So tomorrow they did give you some questions for tomorrow. What's going to happen to the tag titles and all that good shit? What's going to happen to the Universal Championship? Will Brock Lesnar, in my opinion, come out and just toss the title on the ground and say, "See goodbye, I'm going to the UFC, fuck this, fuck everybody, I'm out of here"? I don't know. If Brock Lesnar was to do that, I could easily see them doing this and making a tournament until we get to Saudi Arabia, and a new Universal Champion being crowned in Saudi Arabia. It's just me, but we'll have to wait and see. This was a D show for me. Only 3 good matches overall does not make a great show. Anybody who rates this as if you want to go with numbers instead of letters, this pay-per-view was a 3.5. Period. 3.5. Asuka losing, Shinsuke Nakamura losing, turning heel, and what else? And anything else, and Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss, the squashing of John Cena with The Undertaker, and one of the worst storylines going into WrestleMania. Now, I can see them, and this is another one. I can see that build, and I don't want to see John Cena versus The Undertaker 2 at WrestleMania 35. Fuck that. None of this year-long build for that. Now, this could go a long way to giving John Cena that 17th championship that Vince McMahon surely wants to give him at WrestleMania next year. Let's throw that booking hat on right now. We're just going to put that booking hat on right now. John Cena comes out tomorrow and feels like he let everybody down. He caught out The Undertaker. He got the wrath of The Undertaker. He didn't stand a chance against The Undertaker. He had one move against The Undertaker, and that was his side slam thing, whatever the fuck that is. He went for the 5-knuckle shuffle. When Undertaker sat up, he did the whole holy shit creepy out thing like he did against Bray Wyatt the first time he saw the spider effect. And then choke slam tombstone, 1, 2, 3. Now, he comes out, he gets dead, he's like he was when he lost to The Rock. He becomes, the rest of the year that he's here, when he is, turns into John Cena couldn't get the big one done. Then, between now and the Royal Rumble, he's just having a bad fucking year. Then he can either win the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber for the men. And he wins that match. He goes to WrestleMania, not for the WWE Championship. I like how JD from the NY206 had the Royal Rumble, the Miz winning the WWE Championship, and then Bryan winning the Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania, or the Elimination Chamber. Cena wins one, Bryan wins the other. They both go to WrestleMania. John Cena goes for the Universal title. But Daniel Bryan goes for the WWE Championship. Both of them win. we have a full circle match, coming full circle for Daniel Bryan, and John Cena gets his 17th because Vince McMahon wants John Cena to break the bullshit record before John Cena calls it a career, and this would be the end of John Cena's journey from being squashed by The Undertaker all the way up to WrestleMania 35. So that's what I think that's what they should do for John Cena, but let's see what they do. 3 months of wasted booking, plain and simple. So yes, a 3.5 or a D plus overall. The only redeeming qualities for this show was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title, Ronda Rousey pretty much just exceeding everybody's expectations in the crowd, and Daniel Bryan's return, and the fact that Brock Lesnar caved in Roman Reigns' head and made him look like a bloody fucking mess, which, damn, is it good to see blood every once in a while, and that makes me sound awful. And Brock Lesnar winning. That's it. Everything else on this card was subpar and below. But that's going to be all for your WrestleMania review. I will be back here tomorrow for Monday Night Mania, as they like to call it, the night after WrestleMania, which is always where something happens. So hopefully we'll have our answers to a couple of questions for Raw, and then SmackDown answers there. Until then, my name is TheFranz. Find me on Twitter at TheFranz. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFranz08, where I'll be back to streaming tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow, or later today, because it is tomorrow, for Raw After Mania. Until then, I am out of here, and peace out.